want insider real estate investing training videos for free? Throughout this video, click the challenge button to subscribe to my free 30-day video series, How I Close Nearly a Deal a Day.
All right, we're back. You're listening to the Cutting Edge Connection. I'm your host, Brian Stone, and with me today is Peter Vekselman. Peter, how you doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely, no problem. You know, my you're always a day late, man. Come on, you got to do that. I'm going to say it again, and then you do it. With me today is Peter Vekselman. There you go. Okay, that's what I like to hear. Peter and I go back actually a couple years. I think I met you 3 years ago, 4 years ago.
Yeah, I still remember that.
Yeah?
I still remember that.
I came in and you interviewed me.
Yeah, basically, I remember that. Actually, I'm pretty much in the same location, about a quarter mile down the road in a building probably about 3 times the size of that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, I'm honored to have Peter on. I mean, Peter is probably probably is the largest wholesaler. Would you consider yourself a wholesaler?
Yeah, I mean, wholesaling is just it's
a part of it.
It's a part of the industry. I do a ton of wholesaling, but I also do a bunch of buy, fix, and sells. You know, I do 10, 15 deals on a weekly basis. If it makes sense, I want to do it.
Right, and Peter's done over 3,000 houses, and it's probably up from that. He has a construction company. He does Peter coaching. We're going to get into all that. But, what I want to start with, Peter, is how did you get started in real estate, and what made you decide to jump into real estate?
Sure. Well, I actually got out of the franchising business. I used to own a bunch of franchises, sold those off, and I was trying to figure out what to do with my life. Read a book by Lonnie Scruggs, Deals on Wheels, and got into mobile homes in the first few years. That's what I did. We flipped mobile homes, did a ton of them.
Yeah. I did that.
Oh, yeah. We had a machine set up. We were doing about 80, 100 a month.
No kidding.
Yeah. We had a very unique model we were running with, so we were killing it. And then the back-end financing fell out for our customers, literally overnight. All the big players got out. Greenpoint, Greentree, B of A, MHFC out of Michigan, they all left the industry, so we couldn't get financing for our back-end buyers. So the next kind of logical thing back then was, what do I do with my life? Move up the food chain from the mobile homes and got into real estate. And
right.
Here I am 15 years later.
15 years later in real estate and you're buying you're buying at least 10 a week, right?
Yeah, we're doing about 10, 15 a week.
Right. Wow. During the time, because I got into the mobile home park business.
Yep.
That's a little different than just flipping.
That's right. It's a little different.
It's a little different. So I got into the mobile home park business, and what I tried to do is flip mobile homes to investors.
Yep. Okay.
And we renovated them, and we did okay, but I didn't have that machine that you're talking about because, one of the things I always talk about is in real estate is you have to have a good team of people surrounding. And I know when I was at your office back in the day, you had it laid out where you had, talk a little bit about how you're set up there is all the different departments and how they work. Sure, and what somebody would do if they get a hold of you.
Sure. Well, look, the key thing in terms of machine, what that does, it gives you consistency. It gives you a predictable business. You're not chasing deals, but you got the system working for you. So my office is actually laid out in a couple different parts. One, a very strong marketing engine. I actually have about 12 full-time negotiators that the whole day, all they're doing is they're taking inbound calls from sellers that we market to, and they're negotiating deals on my behalf. The interesting thing about my model is I've actually combined my investment company with the traditional real estate brokerage. So now the way the model works, when my negotiator cannot negotiate a deal, what they do is then they flip it into a conventional listing presentation.
Oh, okay.
And so then we send one of our realtors out there. So basically we empower the consumer to decide, hey, do you want a quick sale at a discount, or do you want to stay in the game a little bit longer and go the retail way? Both have positives and negatives.
Right.
So now basically I lead in with realtors. Realtors go out there and they make cash offers on my behalf, and if they can't get them done, then they convert into a regular retail listing. So my office is laid out just like that. A marketing engine, which, part of my office from which we market, inbound call center that we negotiate deals.
Let's stop there a minute. When you talk about how do you get your inbound call, what are you doing to get the people to call you?
Sure. The number one thing is direct mail. We do what everybody else does. We do the web-based stuff. We do the Craigslist stuff. We do the postings. But direct mail is by far the best. And, we just do it better than anyone else out there. We have tremendous response rate. So I'm a big direct mail guy. That's how we generate probably about 70 to 80% of all our inbound calls.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
And then the other part of the office is for our realtors. We have a team of about 20, 25 realtors that we work with, and it's a very unique model. We generate these seller appointments for them, which is a great way to recruit a great staff of realtors. And then when they go out in the field, again, they basically do a cash offer up front, and if that doesn't work, then they flip it into a regular retail listing.
So are you buying these houses, or are you just flipping houses?
Well, probably about 80%, 80 to 90% of them we wholesale off to investors all over the world at this point, and I cherry pick the best ones for myself, and then I do something with those, like it would be buy, fix, and sell or something like that.
Right. Okay. That's when getting into the real estate business, if you're out there and you're listening to Peter has a machine, and I mean he started just like everybody else. I mean, when you started, you didn't have 20 realtors sitting in your office and things of that sort, did you?
No, listen, in the beginning we do it all and we do everything.
That's right.
In the beginning is, the way I built this business for the first couple of years, I'd get up in the morning, 8 o'clock, and from 8 o'clock till 10 o'clock, I'd make calls to tax records. I mean, that's like picking up the white pages. Literally, that's like picking up the white pages, and I just basically pitch people, do they want to sell their property? Offer them the opportunity to sell their property to me. I usually generate 2 or 3 leads by 10 o'clock, and in the afternoon I ran the appointments.
What do you think the biggest problem is for real estate investors, the biggest mistake new real estate investors make getting into this business?
Couple of mistakes. One, they're not educated enough. This is a business that lends itself to jump in head over heels without knowing everything. And a lot of other things, you can't jump in because the barriers to entry are too big. In this business, you could literally go to seminar today and tomorrow jump in and you think you know it all, and so they get in too deep over their head too quickly and not realize it, and then that could end up sinking them. So knowledge is power. Knowledge, you got to know what you're doing. You got to also understand that not everybody can do everything in this business.
Right.
Some things, look really cool, really sexy from the outside looking in, and maybe you only have certain kind of financial ability or inability. Maybe you only have certain knowledge ability. Even time constraints, allow you or disallow you to do certain things.
Right.
So you got to know what you're doing. You got to know what it is you should be doing. And the other thing is, the thing that I think consistently kills investors in this business is consistency. It's kind of do it 1 hour one day, then take 3 days off and 4 days on. The way, unfortunately, a lot of investors treat this business, if they treated their jobs this way, they'd be fired in a week.
Right.
But if they put some consistent, persistent, ongoing effort into it, it's a fantastic business to be in. Yeah, it's amazing. I've been in the corporate world, not really in the corporate world, but I've owned franchises. We had hundreds of employees and stuff like that. In the end, they just become high-paying jobs. But real estate, because it gives you the ability to leverage, and not just leverage money, but leverage other people's resources and time. It's a lifestyle building business, no question about it. Which the sad thing about it, so many people get in for the lifestyle, but they never understand how to create it.
Right.
So they just, so they're always changing time for money,
Right.
and so they, again, create jobs for themselves. But it does offer that, and if you know how to set yourself up correctly, you could do whatever you want to do.
That goes into what we were talking about. And I always tell people, some of the best conversations are during break, because that's when you can talk to and what we were talking about, and I've preached this, and you've heard me, if you've been listening to this show, you know what I preach about, and I always preach, a good investor is an educated investor.
Yeah, no question about it.
Let's talk about your education programs that you have, because I remember are you still doing the videos?
Yeah, you can go to the YouTube channel and Google
they're great.
You search my name. I got hundreds and hundreds of free instructional videos out there. But my mainstay is, I actually work with individuals one-on-one now. I consult with them for up to 12 months, help them develop businesses out of this, not just out there chase deals.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I do. My objective is very simple with my coaching clients. I want to show them some results quickly within the first month or so. I want to replace their income a couple months afterwards. I want to help them build a business that, like you and I just talked about, that's both financially and lifestyle focused. And the other great thing is I even partner with many of my coaching clients.
Okay.
So whether you're just starting out brand new and you're looking to be a successful investor, or you're at a certain level and you're just hitting a wall, you're looking to get to the next level. Those are the type of people I work with. And the unique thing about me, as opposed to the gurus who just have these standard coaching programs that they just flock people through without any rhyme or reason, everybody hears the same thing. With me, I do it because I try to create partners across the United States.
Right.
So with me, it's in my vested interest to make sure to become successful and make sure that they, do this the right way and become profitable. So
you can take a person that's brand new, an investor, or you can take somebody that's been investing, which I can see both big opportunities for both. For a brand new investor, if you're a brand new investor, you want to get with somebody like Peter, because let me tell you something. When we were starting this business back in the day, I don't want to go. We didn't have people doing videos, and we didn't have meetup groups that you could go to. You know, I mean, right now there's probably 100 meetup groups every week in Atlanta or throughout the month in Atlanta of real estate. I mean, flipping, wholesaling, you know, you name it, there's a meetup group. And those are places, I always say, meetings make you money, because those are the places that you're going to go to find people that can help you.
Absolutely.
But the problem is like Peter, what we were talking about earlier, is that most investors that get out there, they get excited and they start chasing money. And I always say, never chase money, because you're never going to catch it.
Yep. No, absolutely.
You know,
Look, this is what it comes out to. Business, real estate business is a business of making decisions. What do I do? Do I take a right? Do I take a left? Do I hire this contractor? Or do I hire that contractor? Do I look at this realtor and that realtor? And you have to go through the process of knowing how to make decisions. And the reality is, you know, so many people go just for the educational side.
Right.
And you and I both know there's a million miles between knowing something and doing something.
Exactly.
And that's why I always tell people, look, if you're out there, you know, all you're trying to do is educate yourself. Heck, at this point, you're right. We didn't have these tools, but now you can go online and pretty much learn everything you need to know back.
Exactly.
But if you really want to make money, you got to work with someone like me. You know, somebody that you have access to on a daily basis, somebody that's, you know, strategizing with you, driving the deals forward with you, you know, looking at problems with you that are taking place day to day and able to make decisions right there.
And I think one of the other big things, advantages of doing business with you, is that you have all the properties that they need.
On top of that, if they want to, some of my coaching clients, that's right, they become actually clients. If they're looking for deals, we have the ability to provide deals for them. The other thing I let my coaching clients do is let them literally use my infrastructure. I let them use my negotiators to negotiate deals. I let them use my sales guys to sell deals for them. So I mean, when I get involved with the coaching client, I mean, it's
a full on.
It's almost like a partnership.
Right.
Yep.
And I mean, that really makes a lot of difference, because if you're out there trying, and you know, we've talked about building your team on many, many shows, and if you have somebody that already has a team in place that you can basically step into. I mean, the other thing about coaching, and one thing that investors, you have to understand, coaching isn't free. Okay? And it's like, you know, people always want you to do something for it's like, go to your attorney and tell him you want him to take on a job for you and do it for free. You know what he's going to look at? What he's going to say?
Same thing you and I are going to say. But here's and you know this because you've been around as long as I've been around. One way they're going to pay for coaching.
Exactly.
They're either going to pay. You know, I got started in this business, and you're right. It was just a lack of information back then. Not
you paid for it through the School of Hard Knocks.
Well, and I paid to the tune of about $500,000.
Exactly.
6 months in this business, I was $500,000 down, and I don't mean like upside down, like leveraged over, try to get it back. I mean gone, never to be seen again.
Right.
So I paid for the ultimate education.
Now, when you talk about that, because I mean, it's fun to talk with people like you that have been in the business for a long time, because we have a lot of horror stories in our past. People see what we're doing now, and they think that, oh man, look at these guys. You know, they speak, they're on radio, they're doing all this kind of stuff, but they don't realize what it took us to get to where we're at.
Oh yeah, I mean we got war stories, we got horror stories. I mean I still remember back then I had a contractor literally handcuff himself to my property and telling me that he had more right to it than I did, and I believed him. You know, I remember realtors driving me around for comps and saying, "Well, there's a next subdivision, and we can get better comps." And I was like, "Okay, well, I guess it's just because it's the next subdivision, you know, just comical errors." I mean, I remember one time we literally fixed the wrong we bought a property, fixed the property, sold the property, financed the property, just to realize we were working on the wrong property.
What a nightmare that is!
That was.
Reverse all that.
Oh, and I remember when we were one time when I was lending money, one of my reps came. He was talking to me on the phone. He's like, "Pete, I'm throwing up." I go, "What's wrong, Bob?" He goes, "The guy that we've been giving these draws out to, he's fixing the wrong property."
Oh no. Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean, so you know, it never hurts when you want to get involved in real estate. Get involved in real estate the right way. Get involved with people that know what they're doing, people that have a system, people that have a proven track record. And when you can do a one-stop shop like what Peter offers, I mean, where he can even help you. I mean, from the A to the Z in real estate investing. That's what you want to do. I mean, there's so many different things that we can talk about. I really want to talk more about the coaching, though, because when you talk about coaching and you bring somebody in, what are the first couple things that you tell them to? What are you? I mean, how do you get them started in that?
Sure. Well, first again, I put together a plan. First day or so, we're going to put together a plan based upon their goals, objectives, and all this. The next thing I realized after coaching people for almost 10 years now is you want to show them success as quickly as possible. Not only from a financial standpoint, which is always great, but that's the ultimate way to build confidence. So in the beginning, my number one goal, because I want to show them success literally in the first 30 to 60 days, I want to show them how to wholesale, how to quick turn a couple deals.
Right.
Because it's a quick pathway from A to Z. It's one that it's very capital unintensive and really doesn't require any money. They could see it happening right in front of them. And then once they get that quick turn model down, which literally they can get up and go and get down within the first month or so, then from that point on, it's a very good way to expand. Because the basics that you're using here, how to find a deal, how to negotiate a deal, how to move a deal, these are the strategies. I don't care if you're buying long-term rentals, if you're doing commercial deals and all that. So it's a great baseline. So, I take people through the steps of how to identify the right areas in their marketplace where the deals are. Then I show them how to line up back in investors to whom they can move the deals to, or who could they use money they could use. And then we start marketing and then start putting deals together. So all of that, all that baseline could be done in the first 30 or so days, which means within the first 30 days, it's time to do deals, make some money.
Now, when you do financing, do you do financing?
I do, but usually it's a way for me to attract deals to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So yes, but I do have the ability to make private loans and stuff like that too.
I mean, is that something that you want to do, or is that something that you?
Yeah, I mean, it's not something I'm chasing. It's kind of like you.
For instance, for like a new investor that's coming to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
Is that something you do with them?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, a lot of times I just end up partnering with them even and walking them through the whole deal. Sometimes people actually spend money and funnel it right through my marketing engine, and we do deals together and we negotiate it on their behalf. So if somebody wants to be more successful or successful in this business, I got 20 different ways of skinning a cat with them.
Excellent. Tell us about the program that you were just telling me about.
The marketing program?
The marketing program.
Yeah, that's for people literally all over the United States. Could be here local with us here in Georgia, or could be somewhere in Wyoming. But that's people that have consistent ability to put marketing money in, at least for 3 to 4 months. So let's say they put in $1,000 a month. But they would actually spend that $1,000 a month into the Atlanta market.
Right.
Okay? We would actually provide them all the tax records to who send the postcards to. So the only thing they're spending their $1,000 a month is the postage and the postcards. We're giving the records. So they deploy it into Atlanta. All they're doing is they're taking the initial call from the seller. They're filling out a basic lead sheet, asking that seller about 10 different questions, nothing beyond that, and then getting those lead sheets over to our offices. And then our negotiators, who've been with me for years and years, they actually negotiate the deal on their behalf. We put the contract on that deal on their behalf. We do all the inspections, do all the flyers, do all the marketing material, and then my own sales team sells the deal, and then we do a profit share with them.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So that's the one. I mean, they don't have to do anything.
No-brainer. I mean, all they're doing is taking the calls. I mean, they're once a week. They're sending stuff out, and we even have all that pre-programmed for them.
Now, I remember on some of the videos, you get people from all over the world that come to you.
Oh yeah, literally. I mean, we have people doing this all over the world. I have coaching clients all over the world. I mean, that's the world we live right now. You know?
What about you guys are in Florida?
Yeah. I have a stronghold here in Jacksonville, Florida, and also in Modesto, California. Those are my 3 key points right now.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how do people get a hold of you?
Well, on the coaching side, is all they have to do is just go to my website, www.coachingbypeter.com, coachingbypeter.com. They can learn about more of my coaching program, and then they just fill out an information, and I'll actually touch base with them. If they're interested in the marketing program, they can actually just text right directly to my cell phone at 404-915-9685 and just put the word marketing in there, and we'll touch base with them and tell them how to get the marketing going. And that's just the best way, either coachingbypeter.com, fill out the form, it'll come to me, or shoot me a text, 404-915-9685.
And the YouTubes. How do they get to those videos? You got to see these videos. I'm telling you, if you haven't, if you really want to get involved in real estate, not only get involved with Peter, but go and see these videos, because I'm telling you, I used to sit there and just sit there and watch. And I used to brag on you, man. I used to say,
I appreciate
Peter's, I mean, I called somebody when I was watching. I said, man, he's doing a great job. These videos are great. I'm learning stuff. And, you know, one of the things, as long as we've been in this industry, I continue to learn. I mean, I think anybody that says they know everything in this business doesn't know, don't know what they're talking about.
They're dead in the water. But yeah, to look at my videos, just go to YouTube and just put my name in, Peter Vekselman. That's V as in Victor, Ekselman, and then the hundreds of them will pop up, and yeah, it's good stuff.
I mean, and there's everything from, flipping houses, renting houses, construction in houses, financing of houses. I mean, you name it, it's on there.
Yep.
And I mean, and they're probably 15 to 20 minutes, half an hour.
No, they're short. I mean, I have some longer ones, but I also have a lot of tidbits where I just spend 90 seconds, a couple minutes on it just to cover a specific topic.
Nuggets.
Yeah, nuggets, and all the way from a little bit longer, a little bit shorter. It's a good way to know about me, to see how my philosophy is and how I do things.
Now, I just lost my train of thought because there's so many things I want to talk to you about. I lost it, man.
That's all right. That's all right. Look, I'm like you. I'm looking to do more deals. I'm looking to help people by educating them, and
Education's key. I know what I was going to ask you. Do you have any seminars or anything coming up?
No, nothing scheduled. Again, what I do now is mostly work with people on a one-to-one basis and a consulting basis.
When you do that, do you go out with them? I mean, are you with them?
Well, no, I don't need to go out with them. I don't need to look in someone's eyes to tell them what to do.
Right.
I've done this 3,000 times over and over and over again. So most of the time, I'm just constantly talking to them on the phone on a daily basis. Here's what you do today. Here's what you do today. Here's this tool.
Okay, so you guide them and really get, because I was telling people I'm not going to when I coach you, I'm not going to do the work for you.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's one of the things that a lot of people think is when you coach or you consult that you're going to be holding their hand every day. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is take direction, do what we say you're going to do, and move forward. I mean, we don't need to. I mean, it's like taking a horse to water or teaching somebody to fish. I'm not going to fish for you because you'll never learn how to eat. You got to fish for yourself so you can continue to eat.
You got it. And that's the combination. I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident. The second pillar is the business. It's the right business to be in.
Now, where are your properties listed? Because I get your properties all the time.
Yeah, if somebody wants to be on our buyers list, if they're an investor, whether they're local or all over the United States, and they're looking to pick up great deals that have equity, that have cash flow and all that, they need to be on our buyers list. The best way to do that, just send me a text and then just say add me to the buyers list. Again, send me a text to 404-915-9685, and I'll get it to my people in my company, and we'll put you on a buyer's list, and you'll have access to some incredible inventory, both here in Atlanta, Georgia, and specifically in Jacksonville, Florida also right now.
And that's very important because if you are a new investor, you definitely want to get in the knows and the knots of real estate investing, and you want to get with somebody like Peter that has properties. One of the key problems that most investors have is they don't have the knowledge and they don't have the know-how to get properties. And if you're going to get in this business, you got to have properties. And you need to know how to get the properties, and you need to know how to get the properties at the right LTV or after repair value when it's all said and done. Now, do you go ahead and you show people, I'm sure when you're coaching, the after repair, how backing out the numbers and the construction and all that, good stuff?
Yeah, I have salespeople that work for me, so we take our buyers right through by the hand, walk them through the deals, tell them what they're getting and all that. Yeah, everything is disclosed, show them pictures, show them the ARVs, show them the kind of cash flow that's possible, the kind of work that's needed, all of that.
Okay, now is it better to go directly to you and your through the number than to when I get the emails, you got some sales guys on there.
Yeah, I'll connect with the sales guys. The best way to do, like I said, just send me a text that you want to be added to the buyers list. Make sure your name and email is in there, and I'll get it to my sales guys directly for them and make it happen.
Okay, that's Peter Vekselman. Again, his telephone number is 404-915-9685. That's 404-915-9685. We could go on and talk. I mean, there's so many different things in real estate that we could talk about, but we only have a short period of time. So I'm going to have to wrap it up here in a little bit. Peter, I want to thank you very much for being a part of this.
Hey, you guys know what we do here. We do a ton of deals, and I have a one-on-one coaching program where I coach people just like you to help become very, very successful real estate investors. So if you're a buyer or you know other buyers literally all over the world that are looking for deals in the Georgia market, specifically concentrated towards Atlanta, you need to be on our buyers list. By now, you'll see my email scrolling across the screen. Send me an email. Just say, add me to the buyers list. And on a daily basis, you're going to get some terrific, both ROI and equity-driven deals emailed right directly to you through email. The other thing, if you're looking to become a successful investor, whether you're brand new, just getting started, or whether you're doing it already and you're looking to be a bigger, more sophisticated, more savvy investor, I know I could help you do that. Send me an email to learn more about my one-on-one coaching program, or better yet, right below this video, there's a link right directly to coachingbypeter.com. You can go straight there and learn more about how I could help you become very successful in this industry.